You need balls to even come up with the idea and write something like Record of Ragnarok. I mean, from what I've seen in real life and on the internet, there are many people who absolutely do not like having their history or culture being mistreated, and I do get that. It's something the people of their respective culture take pride on, so seeing even a little change in it or how differently those mythological or historical figures are depicted in a series like this does become totally outrageous for them, which to be honest is totally fair. Even though it's marketed as fiction, to them that's not an excuse to misinterpret their culture, right? Because yes, a lot of the story aspects of it do in fact twist the common notion of those history and mythology that can be very different from how the said figures are known originally. I mean, I'm not knowledgeable enough about this stuff, but I've seen many people on internet claiming it to be the case, and yeah, I don't think they're lying just for the sake of hating it, cause that would be meaningless. Why would they do that? So because of all that, it's really hard to recommend Record of Ragnarok to someone, but should it be recommended though? Well, before I answer that, I must make it clear that I do not have any problem with either you like it or hate it. That's totally up to you, cause here, as I always do, I'm just sharing my personal opinion on it that I hope some people can at least relate. I mean, it's just fun to find like-minded people, you know? Still, in case if I get like death threats or too many hate comments, then I'm afraid I'd have to take down the video, but hope that won't happen and you guys will act reasonably. Anyway, let's get back to the main topic. So after everything that I said, now the question is, why do I think it is still a great show, even though most people in my knowledge hate it or just don't want to watch it? That's because somehow, only somehow, if you can look past all that religious barrier and see the series from a completely neutral perspective, then it becomes extremely enjoyable. But yeah, you do need to have at least some knowledge on real world history and some understanding of different cultures across the world, because only then the adrenaline plus the emotions would hit you even harder, and that's precisely the right way to watch Record of Ragnarok, to be able to properly experience it. Also, like, come on, surely all of you are at least somewhat familiar with the Greek god Zeus, then the first human ever, Adam, as they say, and then fucking Jack the Ripper, and even like Nikola Tesla. These are all pretty well-known names, regardless of whether you are interested in history and mythology or not. And also like being able to recognize the other characters, you know, those that are always present in the audience who support the fighters, both from the gods and human side, makes it even more exciting. And I kid you not, some of the goddamn fights were so good that they legit brought me into tears, like the Adam vs Zeus fight, and in season 3 now the Wang vs Hades fight. And the fights also do seem to be in equal strength thanks to the powers given by the Valkyries to the humans and nerfing the powers of the gods. So all in all, it does feel real. For me, Record of Ragnarok is basically the biggest cross-cultural collab of fictional characters that can possibly exist. A show that involves almost all countries, their cultures and their history in a grand mix. Sure, it's not perfect, sure it bends a lot of real-life incidents for the sake of the plot, but still at the end of the day, it remains the grand collab that will keep you hooked to the screen in almost every episode, which is exactly why the fact that not many people open-mindedly can enjoy Record of Ragnarok kinda makes me sad. I mean, I know this is a highly controversial storyline, but still, as someone who does love every aspect of it, I would love to see more people appreciating the blasphemous courage that was put into writing this, and even taking it to the point of getting adapted as a Netflix anime. Cause for me, this is nothing less than history itself. So like, do you agree with anything that I just ranted now? I guess not, but if you somehow did, even if a little, then maybe you can consider subscribing the channel. Well, it's up to you though. I know this is a rather short video, but I just had to say what I just said. So yeah, hope I managed to express my thoughts properly. Anyway, for now, GG's.